Hey guys, Susie Torres here, Low Country Elite Group, Carolina One Real Estate, licensed agent for over 16 years. Lots of stories, tips, tricks, all sorts of fun stuff to share with you guys. Our goal here, as well as my podcast partner, Tiffany, who's not here at the moment, who is a photographer of the area, is to share area information, tips, tricks, everything else to help you in buying and selling homes, some fun stories, entertain you along the way, answer questions, and all that good stuff. So, one of the lovely topics I'm going to talk about, and also in a upcoming episode, will be having a co-host of a local psychic and medium, and is haunted houses. So we are in Charleston, South Carolina. There is a lot of history here and all the surrounding areas, which is where we take care of for real estate. So lots of questions come up. We have a lot of historic houses, also homes registered on the National Historic Registry, and haunted houses as well. And something I want to talk about today is a personal experience that happened with me. You always think of a haunted house as, a house that somebody died in, somebody committed suicide in, there was a terrible murder in, things of this nature. And obviously, we do have a lot of that here in Charleston, as well as the history of what happened between wars and pirates and bad people and the prisons and all of that. But we also have, regular stories of just the age of the house and things that have transcended in the home since then, as well as stories that you would never expect, like new houses that are built on almost like poltergeist on grounds where spirits were attached. As well as having a house that, like mine, that you bring in an artifact, whether it's from the local antique store or a garage sale or your grandmother's chest, that is actually attached to spirits, and then you are then bringing them into your house. So I know it's a large topic in our area, as well as a thing that comes up frequently. We have everything from the ghost walks to the jail tours to our history tours. Charleston's just amazing and beautiful and full of all sorts of history. But we're kind of talking about how it relates to everyday life, real estate. You're not crazy, and experiences, which are fun to share because honestly, for me, being an agent of over 16 years, have definitely experienced things, have definitely had, estate sales, houses that have sold, um, with people that have passed, um, stories, things like that. But to actually experience firsthand in my own home, um, is something I want to talk about, and the experience that I had. And then we're going to be incorporating that as well, like I said, with joining in a local psychic and medium to explain those experiences and things that, and tips and tricks that you can do to prevent, take care of, deal with all of that, because it's definitely a thing. So, our house, we live in the Somerville area, and our house is in a golf course community country club, and it is a little over 20 years old, so it's not super old. We are the third owner of the house, and there's been no history that we're aware of anybody passing in there, of any previous ghost activity, um, anything of that nature, anything extremely negative that's happened on the land or anything like that that we're aware of. We lived in the house for a good couple years before anything at all transpiring. And when it started happening, we thought, well, I don't know, either we're crazy or maybe it's squirrels or rats or something wrong with the air duct, and, something. Um, but what had started happening with us is, we have a very open floor plan, and the second floor goes all the way around the first floor, and you can easily see it when you're standing in the middle of the house. You can look around to the all the four upstairs bedrooms and bathrooms, be able to talk to the person on the second floor, and there's a open catwalk that goes all around that area. So what we were experiencing was in that open catwalk area, we continuously heard when nobody else was there, the footsteps that would just go all the way across. You'd be sitting on the first floor, looking up at the second floor. Nobody's there. Nobody else is in the home, and you can distinctly hear and not see anything. Um, I actually had one night in particular that was probably the most scary to me. I wasn't sleeping. My back was hurting. It was just one of those fluky nights. I left my bedroom, which our master bedrooms on the first floor. All the other bedrooms are on the second floor, including the kids. Um, I left the bedroom to lay on the couch and put a heating pad on my back. I couldn't sleep. As I'm laying on the couch, I literally heard what sounded like footprints come from behind me, go all the way around, up to the steps to go to the second floor, went up the steps and sounded like it stopped in the landing and then didn't move. Well, laying on the couch, I could look up. I did not see anything up there, but it sounded like it had stopped in the landing, in which case I wouldn't be able to see it move forward. I had considered calling 911. I called my husband instead, that was in the master bedroom on the first floor, and said, "Oh my God, I think somebody's in the house. I don't know what to do. I'm under the blanket in the living room. I don't want to move. They just went around me. I swear they're standing in the landing upstairs." And of course, the kids are upstairs sleeping in their bedrooms with the doors closed. So I'm freaking out about that. He comes out, get through the whole thing, walking through lights, weapons, all that. Nothing to be found. So then we think, well, okay, one of the kids probably woke up, right? Did they wake up and come down and get water and I just didn't see them? Anything. So I go in to wake the kids up in their two bedrooms across from each other, and nobody had gotten up. Nobody had left the room. And there was nobody in the house. Anyways, after months of dealing with this and starting to feel like we're going a little bit crazy, and having instances where, it's just the two of us at home. I'm outside, he's inside, he can hear the steps. He's like, "What are you doing upstairs?" I'm like, "I wasn't even in the house." Things of that nature. Again, nothing hurt us, nothing super crazy like that, but definitely makes you feel like you're going crazy when you hear somebody walking around your house. I finally put a post on Facebook and I said, "Hey, I don't mean to sound crazy, but this is what we're experiencing, and we're trying to figure this out." And ironically, my son and my husband are avid antique collectors and collectors of things from all the wars. We have rebuilt, World War II Jeep and a truck and many uniforms worn by whether it's family members or ones collected from antique stores, things of that nature. So we have a lot of old stuff in the house, and continuously grow that with the collections as they collect and grow. Um, and so, anyways, I put the post out there and was connected through one of my clients to Ellie. And Ellie is a local psychic and medium. And someone said, "Hey, you need to call her." And so, no questions asked. I have never believed in it, never thought of it, never had to exercise it. I said, "Okay, let's do it. What's it going to hurt?" And sure enough, she came to the house and felt what I'll back up and tell you that in a moment, but came to the house and felt presence immediately before entering. We kind of talked through things as she was at the house. We didn't walk through the house completely. We sat down first in the main living area, and as we're talking, and she's going through her procedures of how she handles these things, um, the lights got completely dark. Candles started flickering. Definitely, whatever was going on was responding. Um, it got. I was pushed by a very cold. Um, Felt like the person coming through, and then proceeded to stand near me where you can actually put your hand through it and feel the coldness. Um, and as she talked her way through uh, with the spirit and letting them know that, we're happy family, not to be interrupted, all of the things, and uh, laid it at peace. And we have not had an issue ever since. Was it the craziest moment ever? Yes. Would I have ever expected a new home that we had been living in for years with no activity to all of a sudden have something like that? Absolutely not. So what I learned there is that first of all, it is very real. Um, Second of all, it can happen to houses that didn't have exact occurrences. It can actually be attached to items, and they can be brought into your house, and you can then experience that as well. So anyways, we have lots of stories living here and doing real estate here in the Charleston area, with it being so historic, and so much history goes um, dating way back when. um, we're going to be sharing some fun things and doing some tours as well, just like the haunted jail tour and walking tour and things like that downtown. I think it's something that everybody is always interested in and always interested in hearing. And honestly, if you were like me, who wasn't quite a believer and was kind of thinking you're crazy, you're like, hey, I'm in a house that nobody died in, or maybe I'm the first owner, or it's brand new construction, like none of this should be happening. There are actually things and or reasons as to why it is, and it can be attached to that beautiful, old antique kid's school desk you brought in, or whatever it may be. So lots to share, and I hope you're interested. We are here to answer any questions as well, and we once again thank you for joining us. Susie Torres, Carolina One Real Estate, Low Country Elite Group, and Life in Somerville. And thanks again. And we look forward to sharing more with you.